Hi, everyone. We are here live. Let's wait a few seconds for people to join us. Hi, Diego.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello, Susana. I'm very good.
Good. Well, we're going to wait for a few people to show up. We have a few questions. And you're joining us from Ica, right?
Yeah, I'm from Paracas right now, no?
Cool.
I
So
I live in I was born in Ica, but I live in Paracas.
awesome. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for people joining us, Diego is an expert guide, official tour guide who has 16 years of experience doing tours around Paracas, Nazca, Ica in general. And he's going to tell us a little bit about, what to see, what to do, and his experiences. And we have a couple questions from people who are traveling to Peru. If you guys have more questions throughout the broadcast, just post them as comments and we'll get to them. Okay, so let's start. So, Jack Pendleton, he's traveling to Peru. His plan is to travel in July and August across Peru, wanting to do treks to Santa Cruz, in Huaraz, Choqquequirao, and Machu Picchu, Coca Canyon. And he's wondering what the situation is, if there is any trouble while he's, backpacking and trekking, if he needs to go to the hospital, if there's an emergency, like what the situation is. And first of all, we want to let you know that not all treks are open as of yet. We'll update people on our website when new treks open. But for example, Choqquequirao isn't open yet. So we want you to just make sure that the treks that you're planning on are open. And, the situation with COVID and hospitals is still, not normalized. There's still a lot of hospitalizations across the country. And we want you to, be aware of that. And definitely, whoever you're planning with, wherever you're going to be, whether it's Arequipa, Cusco, or Huaraz, make sure you know the situation in each city and each area, what the situation is with hospitalizations and the risk alert, which we also update on our website, which is down at the moment, unfortunately, but it'll get back up and running shortly. So yeah, you can definitely shoot us an email if you have more questions about your plans for trekking. But yeah, just check on the situation in each area. And we have another question from Marlo. Um, he's asking about train tickets to Machu Picchu. So he needs another train ticket on for June 20th, one way. And any recommendations to get your Machu Picchu ticket. So I'm posting the website where you can get train tickets online. Um, you can also ask us for support for buying train tickets. As a travel agency, we're able to reserve them and book them. So you can definitely contact us at yourfriends@livinginperu.com and we'll help you out with that. Um, but yeah, that's how you can get train tickets to Machu Picchu. Have you ever done tours in Machu Picchu, Diego?
Yes, I did some tours in Machu Picchu. I used to work on a with groups. I used to take people from the airport Jorge Chavez in Lima to do all the round trip. That was 20 days, 22 days more or less. No,
Yeah.
so the whole trip, and then we did a fly back from Cusco to
Oh
Lima.
wow,
Hmm.
really
I used
cool,
to do that for I did that for 2 years.
amazing,
So I've been a couple times in Machu Picchu.
awesome, cool. Well, we have a question from Jonas. He's coming in September. Hi, Jonas. Thanks for joining us. And the situation, I wouldn't say is calm, but it isn't a situation that's gone like out of control. There are regions, and there have been protests, or have been people going to streets, whether it's you know applauding the results or protesting against them, but there hasn't been major incidents. So wherever you're planning on, just make sure you check on the region that you're traveling to, um, and see like the local, there are Facebook groups also that can help you with the situation locally, like what people are seeing. So that will help you too. And Jonas is asking about Paracas, so let's get to it. So Diego he's taken many, many tours to Paracas. It's a beautiful place that I haven't been to, sadly, but it's so close to Lima. And it's a place that really people, travelers coming to Peru, should really, really visit. It's a must visit in terms of your culinary offerings, in terms of the pre Columbian archaeological sites, and then obviously the natural Paracas area that is full of life and is so beautiful. So, Diego, tell us a little bit about what it takes to head down from Lima to Paracas. What is a typical tour like?
Okay. Well, actually, how you said before, Paracas is really close from Lima. It's just 3.5 hours from Lima by car. By bus, it's more or less the same time. Um, and people can actually spend one day to do tours like Ballestas Islands, where you will be able to see penguins, sea lions, and other seabirds. And of course, you want to have um, idea about one of history, which is very important for the economy in this area. And also, you will be able to do the Paracas National Preserve, which is another natural protected area very close of this place.
Right.
In the boat tour for Ballestas Islands, you will be able to take pictures, see all the animals, but in the other tour, you will be able to walk along the beaches, take beautiful landscape
Right.
pictures, panoramic pictures, breathe pure air,
Yeah.
and see that contrast that we have between the ocean and desert next to it. You know, the
No.
Peruvian coast is more or less like that, desert
Right.
next to the ocean. So we recommend you to see this place, especially because it's the other face of Peru. Lots of people, when they heard the word Peru, they imagine mountains, Machu Picchu, of course, beautiful places, even jungle too. But this is the other face. You need to be in this place where the desert is incredible dry. You don't find any plants around of you when you are in a desert. We have sea fossils in that area. Blue sky most of the
Right.
time.
Which
It's
you
blue
don't see
sky.
in Lima. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Exactly. So after the pandemic, of course, we have some tourists from Lima coming to this area to escape from Lima. Because the weather was not very good over there, so they came here to Paracas, where they find blue sky, much better temperature.
Right.
We were not able to use the beaches, but now it's possible. There are two beaches where you can go and take a swim. Of course, you need to remember that the ocean is cold. We have 14 Celsius, which is more or less 58 Fahrenheit in the water. So you need to know that before you jump on the water. But of course, it's a good activity that you can do in the national preserve. Um, you can do this tour, how I said, in one day, but we need to remember a special point here. in Paracas, we have an airport in the Pisco city, which is just 25 kilometers from Paracas, where you can take an airplane to fly it over the Nazca lines.
Right.
Nazca lines is one of the most visited places in Peru, and of course, the enigmatic Nazca lines is a big mystery that is still is like that. You know, it's a mystery.
Right.
And for people who don't have enough time, this is the best option because you don't need to go to Nazca to take an airplane from there. Because remember that Nazca is 7 hours from Lima by bus, by the Pan American Highway. So if you want to do the Nazca Lines flight in one day, you can do it. If you are in Lima, of course, take a
Right.
bus from Lima, 3.5 hours to Paracas. Someone wait for you over there to take you to the airport, which is only 25 minutes. You fly for 1 hour and 40 minutes over the Nazca lines, then you take your bus back to Lima. You can do that in a full day. Like that, you don't spend many hours on a bus.
Right.
That is one option. The second option is if you want to spend 2 days and one night in Paracas, well, you can camp here in the morning, like 7 a.m. from Lima, arrive here 11 o'clock, do the Nazca Lines flight, and in the afternoon you can do the Paracas National Preserve. You sleep in Paracas, and the next morning you do Ballestas Islands tour, and then you take your bus back to Lima. So that
Right.
is the second option. And if you want to spend a little bit more time, like 3 days, of course you have more options. You have a desert where you can do dune baggies. These dune baggies that take you on the big sand dunes.
Yeah.
Okay, adrenaline tour. You can do sandboarding too,
So,
and you can visit oases in this desert. You can see a beautiful sunset in the desert too. If you are in a couple, of course, you will have a very nice romantic time too, seeing the
right.
sunset. Okay,
It's beautiful. Yeah.
so we have many options. Actually, you can taste our drink in Peru. Our national drink is called pisco. Okay, that is our national drink. So you can try pisco in Pisco. Or if you want to travel to Ica, which is just 1 hour from here, you can go to Ica, where we have the biggest production of wine and pisco in Peru. So if you are these people who likes to try wine and pisco, we are very close of Ica, where you can try pisco and wine. And of course, we are very close of Huacachina, which is another popular place, 1 hour from here, no, by bus. So everything is closed. So I think that is the reason why a lot of people came to Paracas because everything
Yeah.
is closed. Hmm.
It's amazing you can do so much in one day, but then it's like an extended weekend and you see the whole area and you see it's so diverse what you get to see too. It's just
Yeah, you
amazing.
have a lot of history in this place. Remember that uh, Paracas is a place where was developed the oldest pre-Inca civilization in the south coast of Peru. We had those Paracas civilization who made a deformations of the skulls. I don't know if you heard some people say that they found these deformations in the skulls from the Incas,
Oh,
but
it's
we
cut
found
out a
in
little bit.
1820 these used to have they practiced from they were babies. Hello.
It cut out, but I think you're back.
Okay, okay. Well, I was talking about a Paracas civilization, which was the
Yeah.
oldest pre-Inca culture developed in this area. Well, I just need to mention here that lots of people, when hear about Peru, they imagine Incas, and we need to remember that
Right.
Incas were the last culture before the Spanish people came here. But in this area, we had Paracas and we have the Nazca culture, two different civilizations that practice beautiful and interesting things. For example, the deformations of the skulls. Paracas people deformed the skulls from they were babies. They put special bundles around the head to make the head grow up to the top and different skulls. And how I said before, in 1927, we found 429 mummies in beautiful conditions, where you can see the
Wow.
real hair of the mummies. You can see this, even the skin of these mummies, and most of them were in fetal position. Most of them were in fetal position because they believed in the next life. But the impressive thing was the deformation of the skulls, the shape of the skulls, the beautiful textiles, beautiful potteries. I mean, it's a lot of history here to talk.
That's so
We talk
much.
about a history of this culture. Of course, it's not enough time today.
Yeah. And the museums are open now? Are there some that are not open yet?
Now, unfortunately, the National Institute of Culture decided to don't open the museums yet, but
Okay.
I think that next year or at the end of this year they will be open.
Okay. But if you go to Nazca, will there be a museum open there? Like,
Probably.
or
Sorry, I didn't hear you very well.
I mean, if you go to Nazca, is there a Nazca museum that's open or no? Maybe you
Yeah,
can't hear
there
me.
are some museums that in Nazca are open. They are not part of the National Institute of Culture, like a private museums. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we have some private museums. For example, one of them is the Maria Wright House Museum. That is the house where the German lady who studied
Yeah.
Nazca lines lived. No, so that is a small museum which is next to the Pan American Highway, where you can see a little bit more about her investigation.
Amazing. You were doing a tour
Hmm.
today, right? In the Ballestas, or where were
Yeah,
you?
I was on Ballesta Islands today. I was on Ballesta Islands today. We saw people um, collecting guano. Okay,
Oh,
so of
Guano.
course this is something that, yeah, this is something that people don't see every year, because we collect guano from the same island every 7 or 8 years. And these people were actually very happy seeing how the people, or how the guano workers work, because it's a really hard job. They were looking on the top of the islands, how a big group of people, like a 400 people, they used to move collecting the guano. And everybody on the boat saw that and like that, except for the smell. One smell is
Yeah,
really strong.
for people who don't know, the guano is the excrements from the birds that accumulate around the national reserves and in that area of Paracas, and they use it as fertilizer, which was a huge economy back then, and they still do it now. But like you said, it's not often that you see it happen.
Yeah, well, we need to mention here that in Peru is created right now a national preserve that protect every place where we have guano production. We have, like Ballestas Islands, we have 22 islands in Peru where the government collect the guano. 22 islands. So that's why we collect guano from the same island every 8 or 7 years. But every
Amazing.
year we collect guano at least of one island. So the last time, for example, in Ballestas were 700,000 tons of guano.
Wow,
A
that's
lot of
crazy. That's a lot.
bird
Yeah.
food. It's a lot of bird food.
Amazing. Well, Jonas, he also has a question. I mean, for quotes, you can definitely contact us, and we'll work with Diego like to book those trips for you guys. I mean, it all depends. The cost depends on, you want to do a 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. There's so many activities. You want to try and squeeze everything in, so it's possible. So just contact us, and we'll make it happen. And we had a question from Omar, about masks, and the mask mandate is still, you know, um, in place in Peru in public areas. So in the tours, Diego, the tours, all the sanitary restrictions are in place. You have to wear your mask. There's distance, and there's all of that.
Okay. For Ballestas Islands, you need to wear the protection of your mask,
Hmm.
and just to get into the boat, to go through the pier, everybody have to wear the face shield.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, face shield and the mask.
Yeah.
But on the boat, only the mask. Okay,
Okay.
only the mask. In every tour, except the Paracas National Preserve, you can. There are some beaches where you can take the mask off,
Okay.
because like that you just
It's
breathe.
outside.
You
Yeah.
breathe. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
You breathe pure air. And
Yeah.
the idea to give you uh, the option to go on the beach is breathe pure air. But that's only when there are no many people around of you.
Right. Right. Yeah. So there's, with social distancing, and if people are far away from each other, you can obviously put your mask and breathe the mask and breathe the fresh air. So Um, yeah, I mean, I think that's the beauty of Peru, that there's so many natural areas, forests, national reserves on the coast, where it's, what, well, there are still some protocols in place. It being in nature makes everything so much easier, and you're able to breathe the fresh air without problems like um, in like not like in the cities, where you do have to wear your mask all the time. um and yeah, I think, any last words about Paracas, Diego? Like, that you want to promote it, you want to encourage people to travel and visit Paracas when they're in Peru?
Yeah, of course. Well, just to tell you that Paracas was considered as a safe destination just three
Yeah.
weeks ago,
Yes.
2 weeks ago,
Yes.
and here the protocols are, everywhere. People is also taking care of our visitors, uh, but you won't feel like someone is pressure you to do something. I mean, you will feel like you are enjoying the nature, especially in open areas. Maybe not on the boat because will be more people on the boat, but of course, if you are interested to take the mask off on a boat, we have private yacht for you and your family, where you can enjoy, a glass of wine on the tour on
Right.
the way to Ballestas Islands. Yeah, I mean, we have private tours options for you too.
Yeah.
We have private tours for everything that you need. Most of the tours that we do in Paracas right now are private, except Ballestas Islands. And then dune buggies. We have the Paracas National Preserve. You can visit on a little dune buggies or ATVs. You can drive those vehicles by yourself, and you can go on in the Paracas National Preserve. I mean, this is a place where you have lots of different options. I mean, it's not only nature or adrenaline tour. It's a lot of history, a place where you can relax, you can connect with with a nature, enjoy with a wine tasting or with a pisco tasting. I mean, there are lots of options, and I'm sure that if you look on the internet, all the pictures, the beautiful pictures that we have for you in Paracas, I'm sure that you will be a person who wants to come here, and
Yeah.
we will be waiting for you, of course.
We shared your photos. I think it was on Tuesday or yesterday, and people loved them. I mean, they're such
Oh, really?
beautiful photos of the ocean, the blue sky,
Oh,
the
okay, okay. Well,
eagles. Yeah. No, I think
the
it's
photographer is good too. I was joking.
the photography skills are good. And hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. Lisa has been to Baracas, and yeah, I definitely need to go soon. It's just a beautiful place, and it's so close, so it's a must visit. And yeah, I hope we can share more photos, Diego. I mean, I definitely want more people to see your experiences doing tours there so people can get excited and book. So send us your photos whenever you can.
Okay, of course, I will send you more pictures. Okay, I like pictures, so I'm sure that I will send you more pictures.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks everyone for joining us. And thank you, Diego, so much. Again, contact us at yourfriends at livinginperu.com if you want to book your tour with Diego. And yeah, thank you. And we'll see each other soon.
Thank you.
Bye.